back to my channel. So during today's video, I am going to be creating an eyeshadow look using the Glam Lights Chocolate Martini eyeshadow palette. I do know I want to use this shade Happy Hour. I like this shade. I've used this palette a couple of times, and I've used mainly like these tones in this portion of the palette, but I do want to definitely dive into this bluish, purplish. I can't describe, but I do want to use that tone. So let's get started. I primed my eyes today with my P. Louise in the shade number 2, Rumor. Okay, so for starters, these things want to start again. So for starters, we're going to go ahead and take the, let's take the, it's just a BH Cosmetics, just this large fluffing brush. And we're going to take the second shade in the palette, this matte shade, and we're going to apply this shade into the crease area, our transition shade. And we're just going to continue to just pack it. And the other eye. And I'm going to try to make this quick and simple. I know I always say that and it never works out that way, but we're going to try it this morning. We're just going to continue to pack it. I like how it's like a salmon type shade. I really like it. And I'm going to have to pull my purple palette back out in this collection, because I did not have like the best experience with the shadow, and maybe it was the base that I used, because I do like Glam Light formula, but that purple palette, when I first bought it, it gave me like some trouble blending it. But I'm gonna try it again with a different base and see how that works. So now I'm gonna apply a little bit more back on the brush, and this time we're gonna blend it directly in the crease area to make sure the shadow is built up directly in the crease. And I'm using this large fluffy brush, so it does not apply a whole lot of shadow to be packed out, just enough to blend and diffuse. And it's the perfect type of brush to do that with if you don't want to just pack the shadow, and you just want like that wash of color and lightly build up. And that's what this type of brush does for me. And I know I sound a little raspy. These allergies just would not give me a break this year. And I have like year-round allergies, which are the worst. So I'm just applying a little bit more. Okay, so now we're going to keep the same brush. We're going to wipe it off with our little makeup round. And now I'm going to take, let's take the shade Cream de Cocoa. I think that's how you pronounce it. This shade here is the matte shade in the center of the palette. And we're going to use the same brush. And this time we're going to apply this into the outer V, going into the crease area up a little bit. And we don't want it too deep, so that's why I'm continuing using this fluffy brush. It's not really applying, and maybe it's just like a little deeper than the shade we just placed. Okay, there it is. And I'm just blending it right up in the crease area, in that outer V area. Let's apply a little bit more to the other eye, and we're gonna blend it. So I'm liking how that is coming together, so I'm gonna apply a little bit more, just to make sure you can see that shade. Yeah. So I'm liking how that looks so far. So let's apply just a little bit more of this cream shade. and we're going to blend it right in the crease area. Okay, so now I'm going to take this Morphe, and it's just this little, it came in one of those little eye brush sets, I believe, the blending sets. But we're going to take the shade Girls Night Out to deepen up just a little bit more before we use that shimmer shade. And we're going to take it on the brush, and it's more of a denser blending brush, and we're going to pop this right in the outer V as well, but more towards the lash line, and just place it first and just pack it on that closer to that lower line lower, it ain't on the lower lash line, it's your, y'all know what I mean. We're gonna place it right here, the lash line, yeah, not the lower lash line, but the lash line. It's in the morning, y'all, it's in the morning. So we're gonna do the same thing for the other eye. Just pack it, and then we're going to lightly blend. And I don't want it like to be really, really deep, so that's why I'm using a lot of these fluffy brushes this morning. And we're just blending in circular motions. And y'all probably see all this glue on my lash line. I gotta find a way to get this glue off without tugging at them and pulling at them. And if y'all have some ideas how to get this glue off, let your girl know. Because I don't have any lashes, and I don't want to pull out the, the little bit I do have. Because I have to put my lashes on. Okay, so now we're going to clean off this brush and make sure everything is blended. Everything in the crease area. So now we are going to go in with our Too Faced glitter glue. And I'm going to apply a little bit on my ring finger. I think I'm about out of stuff in a little bit. Not quite, but I'm getting there, like really, 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 really getting there. I'm going to apply a little bit. And I've been liking this. And kind of like blend it till it's like really, really thin. We're going to place it right on the center of the lid, going over into the inner corner. And we're not going to go all the way to the outer V, but we're going to go close to it. And the same thing for the other eye. And make sure it's placed really smooth without any clumps or anything. So now we are going to go in with the shade Happy Hour, which is this pretty purplish, bluish. I don't know. I don't want to take too much because I don't want to be too bold. So I'm just going to just lightly dab the shade. Really pretty shade. And we're going to start placing it on the center of the lid. And I'm lightly placing it so it'll give more like a lighter effect and not a really deep, deep shade. And I'm going up into the crease with my finger, the tip of my finger, making sure the shade is placed lightly in my crease area. And I'm going to lightly place the rest of it right on the center of the lid. And you want to lightly pack this shade. I don't want it too bold this morning. And to give off that really good light shimmering effect. I like it. So now we're going to do the same thing for the other eye. And start with the center. And lightly place it in the inner corner and going up into the crease. I like it. That's pretty like that. So we're going to apply a little bit more on this eye. Just a little bit. because I feel like the other eye has a little bit more. And I'm just packing it mainly on the center, and then we're going to work the rest towards the inner corner. And then make sure you place a little bit into your crease area with the tip of your finger. And make sure your other eye is blended really well. Here we go with this. Okay, so just making sure everything is blended. I'm liking that. Now I'm gonna go in with, looking for my smaller, let's take this ColourPop E1, and it's this fluffy brush, and we're gonna go back in with that same shade, and we're gonna lightly tap it. Lightly tap, like not scrape it, but just tap it, and just make sure it's coated where you may have missed with your finger, and right into that crease area. And take a little bit more, and right into the crease area. Okay, so now we're going to go back in with our Morphe brush, and we are going to blend the crease area again before we deepen up this outer V. So I'm just making sure this shimmer shade is blended with the crease shade. And it's okay if it goes up a little bit, because I like my shimmers in my crease. And if you don't like them in your crease, just kind of keep it precise, mainly on the lid if you don't like it. But I like it in my crease, so it doesn't really bother me. So I'm just continuing to blend. So now we're going to take our makeup round again. And now we're going to go in with, let's deepen it up a little bit. Let's do, you know what? Let's go in with Chocolate Liquor. I've used this a couple of times. It's a shimmer shade though, but we're going to see if it can deepen it up to what we're looking for, although it's a shimmer shade. I'm going to try to place it in the outer V. Let's see what that's doing. And I'm just blending in circular motions and up into that shape of a V, up into that crease area. So that did a little bit, like, yeah, that's pretty good. Now we're going to add a little bit to this eye and do the same thing, just blend in the shape of a V, and then I start blending in circular motions, backwards and forwards, and up into the crease. So I'm liking this so far. Let's add just a little bit more of Chocolate Liquor right in that V area. It's a pretty shade too. And now we're going to blend again. So now let's clean this brush off one more time. And it does not have a matte shade, like a brow bone shade in this palette. So we're just blending everything together around these edges. So now the last thing is, I do not have a matte shade in this palette that I want. Well, it's not a matte shade at all in here for my brow bone area. So I'm just going to take my Norm, my little Wet n Wild Creme Brulee, and pack it on the side of this fluffy brush. And we're going to pack it right above the shadows and set the base under my brow area. And I use this because I like to use it as it transitions my shades really, really good with the highlighting effect. So I'm really liking this. I need to go find another one, and I actually bought it from my local Dollar Tree. And I need to go pick up another one. I like this little shade. I'm sure I got it in another little Wet n Wild palette that I can probably pull out and find. Now we're going to use this same brush and just blend everything together. So this is the eye look. So I like how everything turned out. So I hope you guys enjoy how it turned out. And I'll be back to do my norm, my eyes, my lashes, my everything. And I'll be back to show you guys my final look. So welcome back. This is the final look. I love how it turned out. Using the Glam Lights Chocolate Martini eyeshadow palette. Now to finish this eye look, I did not apply any more eyeshadows to my lid, but I did apply the shade Girls Night Out with my little lip brush, and I kind of just add a little bit in this outer area on my lower lash line, outer V area, and then I went in the center all the way to the inner corner with the Happy Hour shade that we put on the lid, really lightly. And to highlight my inner corner, I used the first shade, Vanilla Vodka. That's all I did for the eyes and my normal routine for my face. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did using this palette. Like I said, I'm going to have to pull out that purple eyeshadow palette again and use the other ones that I have in this Martini collection. Is it Martini collection? Happy Hour collection. Happy Hour collection. To see what other looks I can come up with. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I will see you guys in my next one. Goodbye.